I want you to realize this thing called cellular consciousness is not just two words, cellular consciousness. It's got a meaning that is so deeply arousing that if you get into this whole project, you'll understand the four-body system. The four-bodied system takes on this new glow of light. This new glow of light, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means you've got to be aware right now, this whole project, this physical body, like my mediums right here. You see the body right here, and you think, it's just a body? Is it really just a body? It's 70 trillion cells. And in those 70 trillion cells, you've got DNA that you can't even begin to count. And the genes and everything is all part of this whole project. But understand this. You can get to this clarity. And clarity, what you seek, right? You can get to this clarity that you can be in control of this entire 70 trillion cells with one basic thought. A basic thought. Healing. Healing. Now, if you say healing, everybody says, well, that's a magical thing. They're going to touch and they're going to and they're going to use the AEIUs and so on and so forth. They're going to do all these things. But I'm telling you what it really is. It's going to be your thought. Now, somebody said to me, medium, a little earlier today, they said to him, I was listening, they said to him, can you use this cellular consciousness to heal the self? And I say yes. Not only can you, you should be. But understand this thing. Every time you go to use this signature cell healing, you've got to keep certain memories fresh in your mind. And understand this thing. The freshness comes down to this level right here. You've got to learn how to breathe. Breathe. That's the breath. You got to do something else you got to do. You've got to be aware of your thought pattern. The thought pattern is the most precious thing you've got to offer to this body process right now. Thought pattern. Now, the thought pattern does not only include your consciousness of the local brain, but you can tap into the omnipresence and get this whole thing working. So you got the breath, and you got the breath, and you got this whole project coming into your body, and it's coming into two forms, breath and thought. Now, the next thing you got to do, you've got to learn how to touch your body. Touch your body, you say. This sounds like a signature cell healing class. It might be, but understand this thing, lads and lasses. You've got to touch because you've got three things happening every touch. The first one right here is the truth. The truth is your truth. It's your truth and your truth alone. If you're healing yourself or anybody, you've got to be in truth. And what does that mean? You're going to have to breathe. You're going to have to bring this mental weave into this thing. And you've got to bring the trust. That trust is this thing right here. So you think, truth and trust, that's part of the 10 principles, isn't it? Yes, it is. And what's the third principle? Passion. Where's the passion? The passion is going to be right here. Right there. Truth, trust, and passion. Now, I'm telling you, you got it almost perfect right there. But you got to remember one thing. You've got to remember it's a body. And if you're going to go in there and you're going to beat up on this body, thump, 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 then it's going to go through this whole system. It's not going to do anything. It's going to go straight through and come out to the bed below you. But understand this, a gentle touch, a tap. It's called tapping. Tap, 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 tap. And you got to get all of this in alignment. So these four things right now, I can tell you these things, lad and lasses. You've got to be aware of them every time you're going to do a healing. So if you're going to do a healing, and you should, every one of you should be doing healings, but you're going to do a healing, you've got to take all into the mind. You've got to breathe. You've got to get the golden particles of love and light come down through your head into your body process. And that's the journey right there. I'll tell you these things. Because every time you do this, when you exhale it out, it comes out. If you hold your hand up in the sky, it goes up into the sky, you know. But if you touch, 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 all the breath, every breath, it's so empowering. Because understand this thing, lads and lasses, this is the journey that you're all seeking, and I'm giving you the most simple journey that I can tell you right now. There's many things the medium can teach you in signature cell healing, but understand this. I've just given you the 3 basics, the 4 basics if you want to call them, but understand this thing. This is the cellular consciousness. It's going to respond to what you're going to do. So what I'm telling you right now, and I'll call this an opening statement, all right? You have got to respond in 100% fashion. What's 100%? It's the lights I talked about in my book. I got a book, you know, Signature Cell Healing book. But I talk about this book, this light patterns, this 100 lights up on this whole journey. And if you're going to do a healing, now think about it. If you're going to do a true signature cell healing, you're going to have to look at the end of this light. When you've done this whole thing, you're going to have to count every light up there. And if you look up there and 100 lights are all lit, you're healed. You have healed in absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. But if you get through this whole journey and you look up there and there's a one out here, one out there, one out there, one out there, you think, not bad, only 4 out. That's pretty good. It is pretty good. But I cannot guarantee the results that I can guarantee. Guarantee, you say? Master Q, you don't ever guarantee. All right, I wouldn't say I'd guarantee anything, but I'll tell you this. I'm going to bank on you. I'm going to bet on you, if you want to call it. I'm going to bet that you've done everything you could ever have done, and that patient, that person you're going to be healing is going to have to get their own way out of this whole project, because you're going to have enlightened the whole cellular consciousness, and you're going to know what you've done, and you look up that light, and you say, God bless you, Master KIrael, for thinking of us on this whole journey. Thank you, and good evening.